offense. You're on also the case of criminal appeal number Mule versus Republic, High Court Criminal Appeal number 873 of 1982. Rona further, the last authority that I would refer court to.
Mule versus Republic.
Versus Republic, 2006, EKLR, by Honorable Lady Justice Lesit, as she then was. Your Honor, these particular authorities go to the elements of the offense and what it contains, and this Honorable Court cannot go to the the quotation that has been provided in the particulars, but the nature of the offense has been brought out in sufficient details to enable the applicant, to enable the accused person response to the accusation before him. Your Honor, the other issues raised by my colleagues I wouldn't want to go into them on the issue of whether this was an opinion given by the accused person, because these are evidential questions. As much as we are all entitled to our opinion, but our opinion should not affect the rights of others. We therefore pray that this Honorable Court finds the charge sheet properly drawn, as drafted, and the complainant is listed therein. We so pray, and the accused person therefore take plea.
A very brief response, Your Honor. If you allow me to do the unusual, so that the court may understand the dilemma the defense is in, to read the charge sheet, so that the court, we can all hear.
Your Honor, just so that I may not appear to be disrespectful, I thought a rejoinder is only restricted to the legal questions.
Yeah,
if my senior colleague was interested in reading the particulars, she ought to have read them at the time was raising the objection, not at the time of the rejoinder.
I don't think so, Your Honor, because if he says that the charge sheet proves the particulars, I would just want us to go home with the ring of these particulars. That he is charged with offensive conduct contrary to section 94(1) of the Penal Code. The particulars: on the 29th day of September 2024, at around 16 hours in Kiambu County, within the Republic of Kenya, in a public place, namely Ruiru Stadium, used abusive words to it. I said, even if we were cheated, I swear to God again. I swear to God. Truly speaking, truly to God, dogs are many than we think. We worked and worked and worked for someone. I swear to God, hustlers were cheated. Mama Mboga was cheated, were cheated. Boda Boda were cheated. Clergy, bishops, pastors were all cheated. All teachers were cheated. Our only person who was remaining in the government, talking bravely without folding the tail, Gachagua. I swear to God, if they will take him home, ha ha ha. I swear to God that that person to burn in the stomach while dosing. Ha ha ha. Dogs are many. This is one. I swear to God, how comes we worked for him and does not appreciate us? It's the truth, but we said one thing: if they will debate that motion in Parliament, if they will take him home, the other side of Gachagua, the following morning, led by Kalonzo's team, they will debate the motion to take Ruto home. Are we together? There will be no time Gachagua will go home alone. They were elected on one ticket and they will go home together. If Gachagua goes home, Ruto will also go home. Together, we should maintain the chorus. All MPs on the side of sending Gachagua home early in the morning will also take them home. All of them will go home. The other day, they voted yes to raise high cost of living with the intent to provoke a breach. That's the end of the quote, and then now it is added with the intent to provoke a breach of peace. To what set of those particulars are we here for? I just want that the court's mind be applied to this. To see it discloses no reasonable course of action. It's a lamentation on various issues around the country. This does not satisfy Section 94, subsection 1 of the Penal Code. Let those words jumbled up, mixed up together, go in our minds. Is this an offense to which one can plead? Are they multiple offenses? Or is it just a lamentation that the court is being asked to take plea on? A lamentation is the opinion of the person lamenting. So we leave it to the court, and like in the earlier matter, Honorable Waititu is a notable person in this society, being a governor, being a member of parliament, being even a councillor in this city. And he's been a deputy minister, a deputy mayor. We urge for free bond, so that as the court considers, because it may take the court several readings of this to try and make what is being said. I would urge that he gets free bond. He will return to court, and then the court can give us its ruling on this. I urge you also to, let me leave it there so that my colleague doesn't get it.
Finally, Your Honor, Legua. And Friday at the same time, in the event you want to deliver the ruling on preferred. But Your Honor, look at the offense alleged and the particulars. The offense is that of offensive conduct contrary to section 94, subsection 1. The particulars, they say, with intent to provoke a breach of peace. Your Honor, those are two diverse, distinct provisions of the law jabbled up in one piece.
Your Honor, just in brief, the point that my colleague raised that we had not touched on, by reading the particulars of the charge, I just want to refer court to the earlier case that I had mentioned of Rahab Wairimu on the issue of breach of peace, because my senior colleague has taken court through the entire particulars. I would refer court to that particular paragraph, and I believe this court will be able to look at that decision. In relation to the question of bail, we have not received indication whether the ruling is immediate or not before we can give our views on the same. We'd like to get directions from court so that we can respond on that question of bail.
Just proceed and respond.
In relation to the question of bail, while we are not directly objecting to bail, we admit that Honorable Waititu has all those positions that my senior colleague has mentioned. However, I wish to bring to court, unlike the previous case that this court has dealt with, Honorable Waititu has an ongoing case. Just to mention, the word stringent is actually depends on how stringent the court looks at, and depends on how my colleagues look at the word stringent.
The offense before you, Your Honor, is a misdemeanor whose fine is 5,000 shillings. So when setting bail, that's how stringent. I just wish he drew the attention of the court to that. And even though he's on other cases, he has not failed to turn up in court. He dutifully attends all his cases.
So, Mr. Ndimo, you'll have to provide copies of the authorities you are relying on, so
Yes,
that, even to your colleagues.
Yes.
And without reading them, I cannot give you a ruling, otherwise it will not be a considered one.
I undertake to provide them immediately.
Yes. So what time do you want to come for ruling on Friday? Same time?
Time as the other
Okay.
one.
You want to come physically or virtually? Let's make it virtual because of the numbers.
We would appreciate that. Yeah.
And depending on the outcome.
Maybe whichever way, but
Okay.
If the plea must be physical, a mentioned date for the plea can be set during the virtual ruling.
We also give directions on the form because it's gated.
Then Mr. Ondimu undertook.
phones and wherever that was his
In
medical
respect to the
Oh, wait.
Yes, I'll cross-check with the investigating officer to see whether there are any evidential material before. I undertake to ensure that my colleagues are informed before the end of business today.
You are done? Okay. So ruling on the application relating to the charge sheet on 4th of October this year at 2 p.m. physically. With regard to the question of bail, the alleged offense falls within the category of those covered by Article 49, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution, in respect of which an accused person should not be remanded in custody. There is no indication that the accused person has failed to turn up for trial in any other case, and the presumption of innocence under Article 50, Sub-Article 2A of the Constitution applies in all cases. Article 49, Sub-Article 1H of the Constitution provides for release on bail or bond on reasonable conditions, and therefore there is no provision, even under Section 123 of the Criminal Procedure Code, for stringent conditions sought by the prosecution. I am convinced that the nature of the charge is not one that can motivate the accused person to fail to turn up for plea taking. The accused person is therefore granted personal bond without surety of Kenya shillings 50,000 to appear before court on 4th of October this year at 2 p.m. Mr. Mboy, we have to break for lunch before coming for your matter. So we can afford to come back at 2.
25 days since the last day of last season. We are ready to do it all again.
Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something!
Dial *423#. Get DSTV Compact for 3,700 Kenya shillings and connect to all the football you want on DSTV.
And welcome back to the last hour of News Hour. It's about 2 minutes past the top of the hour. Danson Mungatana, Senator Tana River, and Busia Senator Okia Mutata still with me in studio. That discussion coming up in just a second. But I'd like to take a look at some of your responses to the question we were asking tonight. And we were asking you if the country is ready for the rollout of the new social health insurance scheme. If you're ready and if the government has done enough to convince you that it's time to roll it out. I have a few comments now, and this is from Charles Achwia from Ukwala. This must be in the county of Siaya. He says he's not sure whether to support it or not. Is the government serious with this SHA business? Does it exist? Is it alive? I've registered but cannot upload my dependent even after visiting 2 Huduma centers and several cyber cafes. The system does not just seem to respond. Uploading dependent prompts. Right, that's Charles from Ukwala. Is Timothy from Cabernet is asking, is SHA another banding thing? The queries in it is suspect. And just one more before I can begin my discussion here is from no name, but he says we shall accept the changes, but I think the government should look into the benefits and improvement of the cover that will benefit what people need, especially in the remote areas. John Kidongo from Bungoma says the government will not manage to register a big number due to lack of marriage certificates for most Kenyans. I don't know how this ties into this, but he seems to say lack of marriage certificates. I don't know if it's a requirement when you attempt to register for SHA. Please, John Kidongo, if you have tried to register and it's asking you for a marriage certificate, please share with us that comment on 22151 and what you stand to benefit the packages, and all. We'll have experts in studio, including from the ministry. Right, before we begin the discussion, let's take a look at a little bit of history now. This is the Ball newspaper. It's on the same day today, and this is from how many years ago? 8 years ago, September the 25th, 2016. And the headline is about politicians taking the battle for Kenyan skies. In show of might, more leaders acquire choppers in preparations for the 2017 elections. And the leading lights then was Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, and of course there was Musalia Mudavadi. As at the time, I think most choppers began to take to the skies in the campaign. So right, that was the headline. Nothing to relate to what we are discussing today. KANU CCM in talks with Jubilee men, but politics will just be politics. We will be taking you to the video of the week in a little bit. But first, my discussion here with Danson Mungatana, Senator Tana River, and of course Okia Mutata. Okia is from Busia. A lot to discuss tonight, but I'd like to go back to where we began. And gentlemen, you are lawmakers. Kenyans have entrusted you with the responsibility to represent them. Do you think from where you sit tonight and right now is the right time, gentlemen, to be discussing about censure, motion and impeachment? Because Kenyans are hurting a great deal, and I'll be talking about lack of funds even going to the counties, of which is your core mandate as senators. But do you think it's time, Danson, we're talking about censure? Is it time, okay, we're talking about taking off some people from the government in form of impeachment? Is it the right time? Because there's a lot that is going on in this country, gentlemen. Let me begin with Okia.